So the pipe penetration testing level 1 course is broken up into 8 individual lessons, each lesson covering a different core subject area. And the format that uses is a batch of instruction around the course area that's being covered within the lesson, as well as a homework assignment that allows the student to go out and actually test this out within the lab environment, within the safe environment, and go hands-on with the tools to learn how they work and to practice. So the first lesson is an introduction. It shows the tool sets that we'll be using. It shows the Backtrack Linux Lab Edition. Kind of guides the student through setting up the lab, getting it fully functional, getting it working. We move on to lesson 2, where we start going into some basics on IT topics that are necessary for any penetration tester to understand. That's areas around networking, operating systems, Windows and Linux and Unix, various services such as web services, FTP services, DNS, all these higher level application level protocols. Then we move into actual scanning, enumeration, reconnaissance, topics like that in lesson 3. Shows how to gather intelligence, learn more about a particular target, a network, doing enumeration, understanding services that are running, versions of those services, various things that exist in your target area for your penetration tests. Lesson 4, we focus specifically on web services. Vulnerability scanning for web services, how to find different types of vulnerabilities that might exist in web environments. And again, all of this is in the homework assignment. All of this is done in a practical manner so that the student actually gets to try this out. Moving on to lesson 5, we focus on databases and the types of attacks that are possible with databases. SQL injection is covered there. We talk about what you can do with SQL injection vulnerabilities. Lesson 6 gets into service exploitation, so talking about backdoors, stack overflows, heap overflows, various vulnerabilities along those lines, as well as how to research vulnerabilities, which is a big part of doing penetration testing. You have to know how to find the information on how to take advantage of a vulnerability. Lesson 7 then focuses on leveraging targets that you have compromised, how to add additional files to a compromised system, how to use that host as a zombie, for example, how to maintain access to that host, and then how to use things like more complex techniques like SSH tunneling to route through a compromised host to get to another host that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. Then the final class for the level 1 course is around password attacks, different types of authentication mechanisms that could be in place, how to get passwords, information about password hashes, and different types of attacks that can be used against passwords, dictionary attacks, brute force attacks, and then the tools that can be used with that. As the student progresses through all 8 of these lessons and completes the homework assignments, they'll actually have compromised multiple machines within the lab environment. They'll have created SSH tunnels, they'll have cracked passwords. All of the things that I've described in the lesson list are actual practical tasks that the student will accomplish in the homework assignments.